when you're creating, so I think one of the challenges that people might have in getting their personal brand done, when you're creating a framework like the Power Parthenon or any of those types of things, the preeminence, any of that stuff, do you have a way that you kind of think about that? Like how do I, because creating frameworks, like that's really the key to having content that is going to have some lasting staying power, and for people to be able to identify and to personalize it to yourself. Do you have a way that you think about doing that?
I think the answer is yes, but it's yes, but. I think I mean, I did a conference last night to Japan, one of my Japan, and they asked me how to be preeminent. And I went into a litany, which I'll get you the video because it might be useful. And I explained that, look, what's made me, let's call it maybe not great, but pretty damn good, is that I constantly am traveling outside my comfort zone. I'm trying to understand as much as I can about as much as I can. Now, honestly, I don't understand digital marketing, but I understand more about most things than almost anybody because I know that gives me advantage. I'm able to connect dots, but you can't connect dots if you have a very linear reference frame. You need to expand your sense of what's going on. And most people stay in a very rigid band. And I think the first thing, if you want to be great, there's a book called Range. Did we talk about that?
We did, but it's good for you to share here.
Yeah, so there's a book that came out a year or two ago called Range by a guy's last name I think is Epstein, and I'm going to probably do a disservice, but the essence is the people that are going to own the last half of the 21st century are the ones that have the most range. They're not just going to be one-trick ponies because the dynamics going on today are so different. You can't just extrapolate from hindsight. And the more you can draw from, the more you can basically see. I also think most people need to cultivate pattern recognition. And you can't cultivate pattern recognition if you don't have a broader context, if all you understand is this little world that you're in. But I think I have cultivated through an enormously diverse and a purposely insatiable and hopeless curiosity and tendency to want to understand how things work, the ability to not just contextualize, but see metaphoric correlations to, let's call it a factor, a law, a principle that nobody else sees. And then the key to something like the Power Parthenon or the 3 ways to grow a business or the 9 drivers of exponential growth or the strategy setting principles or the 9 sticking points or the rules for relevancy or access denied or absolute advantage or any of these things is being able to give it a semi-proprietary name and then owning it.
If you want a lot of additional really cool stuff, I've got a whole channel full of it, and you should subscribe so that you don't miss any of it, because I'm uploading videos all the time. There's a lot of things that are changing in this area, and you don't want to miss out. You don't want to do it wrong, and you don't want to make the mistakes I made. Subscribe so that you don't miss out, and then check out this next video.